Fuck me,
Hello.
that was loud.
And that's the start of chatting shit. I'm Becky
Hello.
Chu, that's Matt, that's Cal Ethnic, and the potty mouth little guy in the corner, that's the only member of the Devon Meta team,
I
Rigel
don't know
Starlight.
I don't know where he picks up this language. Surely no one at nursery talks that way.
Wait, I do think you get demonetized in YouTube if your video's first 30 seconds has a swear word in it. So cut that off.
Oh, do you think I have
Seriously.
Matt's in it
Oh,
for the
Matt's
love,
going to
not
be
the money.
losing them YouTube dollars. That's it.
Surely you get a meal deal out of this. Come on.
No. I think you have to have a certain number of subscribers or something, but yeah, no.
Right.
But yes, this is us. Welcome to Chatting Fish. Chatting Shit. Today we're talking about the Crypt.
Crypt.
Is it the Crypt Meta, Crypt Cup? What's
Crypt Meta.
Crypt Meta?
By the Devon Corporation.
Any good?
I like it. I think it's interesting. Obviously, it's quite raw, fresh off the. Yeah, it's quite raw still. I think it should be really fun. I think the changes, like we discussed in the last video, to the dynamic of the game itself is making the game much more enjoyable. And for a Devon meta, going back in the day when it was Sylph, we all used to get really excited when there was something new and different about the meta. And this one definitely is different. There is a shake-up at the top. It isn't just Medicham, Dragonite. This has got actually some good little picks at the top, which are interesting. Yes, Sableye is still there, but everything else is gone, and we've got new shit to replace it. So that's fun.
Well, Cal, what are your thoughts?
I've only had a limited look. Been pretty busy, but it does look interesting. It's nice to, like Dan says, it's nice to see new names at the top of the rankings. So I'm hoping it plays out that way.
Young Cal?
Well, I was forced to sign an NDA, so I cannot disclose whether I entered the Devon Meta team under the payroll of Matthew Brewer in order to make sure that Shadow Zapdos makes a return every 3 months. I cannot disclose whether that's true or not. I cannot address these allegations, unfortunately. But what I can share through Devon is that the intention behind this meta, from as far as I can tell, I was unfortunately busy when we were first developing it, but the intention from the start was to create a meta which highlighted quite a lot of the new buffs that we have seen and the new changes that we have seen within the new meta. So this entire meta from the beginning was built around allowing these new upcoming stars a place to shine and compete against each other, and to get rid of a lot of Pokemon that we frequently see historically get a lot of play. So I think that's the right direction to take, especially for a brand new start to a season after a brand new start to an in-game season. Yeah. So it'll be quite exciting.
Yeah, and you can tell that the new changes are being highlighted here for sure. Like that, it definitely succeeded there. I think I have a lot of thoughts. I think I like that it's a B-drill meta that you don't necessarily need to run B-drill in. I think that's a huge success. I was speaking to Drew the other day. I don't really understand why, and he was telling me that he thinks Cacturne's going to be really good. And I said to him, normally I'd laugh at you for saying something like that, but actually I think this meta's really good for people that want to say, I think this is going to be really good. Because actually it is quite odd and there's lots of dynamics there, and so it'd take a brave person to say actually that's going to be shit. And
doesn't Cacturne die when it comes out of his Pokeball?
Pretty quickly, pretty quickly. But it, I was looking at some low-kick sims, and it's so hard to beat neutrally because Sucker Punch is so fucking good, and it's like, hang on. Was Counter really this good for like 7 years? Because Sucker Punch is so good that anything with it is worth looking into, and Cacturne is. So I like the meta for that. Like, there's a lot of weird things that have play. What I don't like is this whole thing of airdropping. Like, I understand it as a way to increase the number of relevant Pokemon in the meta, but like, I see Lapras and Jellicent airdropped into this, and it's like, why are we just randomly dropping 2 water types into this? What does that? All that does is create more uncertainty. Like, it's a fairly neutral cup anyway. We don't need more big bulky water types I just don't get it, right? I just don't get it. I think some of the airdrops are kind of odd. Like, I see the Among Us in there. I think that's reasonable. That makes sense. There's poison types in anyway. There's a few grass types in anyway. That's fine. Why are we dropping Lapras in? Like, what's Lapras got to do with anything?
So
You know,
I've got a theory why Lapras has been dropped in, and why Jellicent has been dropped in. This meta in general is quite paper thin. There isn't a lot of bulk, and when you're building a team to hit the sort of targets that you want to hit, you need. I've done a couple of team builds, and I've always been left like really, really shy on the bulk.
There's plenty of bulk here. There's plenty of, and also like.
Yeah, but you're saying the bulk, but then you're doubling up on a type that you don't necessarily want to.
I don't think so. There's Marowak is here.
Come on, Bex. Here. Sorry. There you go, Bex. You're on YouTube. All right? Now go on. It's bedtime. Love you. Go on. Bedtime.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. Why do you need bulk? Why do you need bulk?
Because I can't play without bulk.
You need bulk, Matt. You do need bulk. I know that you're in this new kind of like, all battles should last a minute and a half, but you know.
But if there's no bulk to play with, there's no bulk to play with. That's fine. Like, you want it to be different.
But there is bulk. There is bulk by some people, and to avoid just going down this super meta route, you could choose to go down a more fruity route, but you're still gonna be scared of the bulk because some Bellen's gonna run freaking Sableye and Beedrill. So, if you're running low kick and fucking Ninjask, you need that bulk from somewhere else because you don't want to take you're trying not to go down the same route.
I don't know. I just feel like that's an excuse for poor team building, personally. Like, if you've got
it's a burn.
If you've got 5 mons, and you're looking at your 6th and saying, "Oh, I just need something with bulk. I'm going to put Lapras in." That's not good team building. It's just not.
Lapras is ace, though, mate.
It is. It's a really good mod.
Lovely mod.
Lapras is just too slow nowadays.
You don't necessarily good team building in the sense of meta team building, though. When you say that, you mean
it means individual people.
It means it makes your stomach go a bit.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're sat there like an hour before you're entering a tournament, thinking, "Well, what do I want my 6 to be?" Like, there should always be a better reason to pick something than, "Oh, I need some bulk. Let's pick Lapras." And so I just don't accept that this meta being a bit low on bulk is a good reason to randomly drop Lapras into there. Like, that's just my beef. But yeah,
it's so effective at doing some things. I know we're saying it's slow and stuff like that, but if you look at your team and you've got Ninjash, you've got low kick, things like that, so that are quite thin. You don't want to get fucked up by a Nidoqueen. Which Nidoqueen's going to beat you.
Yeah.
Lapras is very effective at just taking out that threat.
If I could maybe offer a different perspective, if that's okay.
No.
If I could. Oh wow. Okay. That's been chatting shit. Thank you everybody for coming along.
That's a breach of your NDA.
Yeah.
Go on, Cal.
I actually don't think I can disclose the exact reasons why every single helicopter was put in and out. But if I could offer that, could you maybe see that with the nerf to Surf and a lot of Sylph staples relying on Surf, especially within the past, perhaps this could be a way to show off that despite the rework to the move and making it more expensive and changing the damage output and such, to show off the sort of the new damage output it reaches now and how much longer it takes to get to and such. And it gives you a chance to play with things you're comfortable with and familiar with, but show you, hey, this is how it works slightly differently now. This is the new feeling you've got to adjust to now.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that completely. But in that case,
Do you?
5 or
That
6.
just sound like absolute garbage.
No, yeah, I think I get that as an idea, but I think if that is the idea, put 5 or 6 water types in there, and don't restrict just the water types to the restricted picks, because all of a sudden, like, do you want me to prepare for Lapras and Jellicent in my team building or not? Because if I'm preparing for a Surf user, like, should I prepare for a Surf user in this matter? Because there's only 2 of them, and they're both restricted. Do you want me to prepare for them or not? Like, if you want me to prepare for them, put Bibarel in as an unrestricted pick. Put I don't know what else gets served. Put Rainy Cast Form in.
But it's a quality mod.
Rainy Cast Form's too quick.
That doesn't get Surf though, does it?
No,
No.
We're overlooking that part.
Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is, if that is the reason to put Lapras and Jellicent in, put some more Surf users in that aren't good, so then we can. So then they're an actual part of the meta. But I didn't. Yeah, but like Dan was saying, I'm not meaning to lazy team building from a meta building. I'm saying, like, if you put Lapras in your team of 6 because you want bulk, that's not good. If you put it in because you're at the end and you're like, oh, actually, I need a counter to Marowak, I need a counter to Nidoqueen, I need a counter to Vespiquen. Oh yeah, the Lapras works, then fine. But I just don't see that being its role here. I see it being the bulky neutral pick for the sake of being a bulky neutral.
Because we played each other and I had Lapras, and he's just been mean to me personally. He's called me bad at team building. And picking on them on
This
that.
is live footage
I
of Google right now.
I could show you like messages between me and Matt where I'm like, oh, I just really want to fit in Lapras somewhere. I really missed using it, and it's just character assassinating me. Oh shit.
No, listen, I love Lapras. I absolutely adore Lapras. But I just think it's a weird thing to have in this meta. Yeah, and I think it's a weird thing to put in your 6, but that's fine.
I think the restricted ones are a little weird in general, though. There's some of them that there's some mons that I think should be restricted, and some mons that I'm like, why are you there? So.
Well, let's get into that because I'm going first this week, and my pick's a fairly vanilla mon. It's number 36 in the Pokedex, Clefable. Not very spicy at all, but it is on the bulkier side of things. And sometimes in a meta like this, you just need to say to yourself, right, in this category, I just want the best thing, right? And then I'll build my weird stuff around that. And I first thought that in the fairy category, Galarian Weezing was the best thing in the category because it beats the rest of them. And it's got Brutal Swing to beat Ghosts, which is kind of nice because there's not much that beats Ghosts and low kicks and Cacturn. But actually, the added weakness to Mud Slap is kind of annoying. That's really not nice. And Clefable has Meteor Mash, so beats the rest of the fairies anyway. Beats Galarian Weezing if you're running Meteor Mash. PV Poke, I'm sure, will tell you to run Moonblast Swift, but what I'm saying about Clefable is don't run Swift. Think about what you want it to do. Really, you want your fairy to beat the odd dragon that's there, but really you want it to beat low kicks. It doesn't really matter what charge moves you run for that because Clefable will just do it. So run your Moonblast, because then you'll go toe to toe. You go toe to toe with Marowak and the bulkiest neutral things in the meta. You'll go toe to toe with Lapras. Yes, there might be occasions where you need to finish something off with Swift and you'll lose the matchup because you don't have it, but that's fine because if you won it, you'd be on 2 HP and you'd get farmed down by something anyway. So it's not necessarily a bad thing losing those matchups narrowly that you might have won narrowly. So instead of running Swift, run Meteor Mash to beat other fairies, or run Psychic to fuck up fuck up the poison types that come after you've farmed down a low kicks. Yeah, I think it is the best thing in the fairy category. I would need some. I'm yet to find a good argument. Yeah, no, there's like Cal's pick. The reason I went first is because I wanted to set this baseline for Cal's pick because I think Cal's pick is really good. Cal's pick is the only other thing in this category that I can see myself running as a fairy type other than Clefable. So, yeah, I'm really struggling to find a reason not to run Clefable other than to run Cal's pick, which says a lot about Cal's pick as well. But I also think with Clefable, you know what you're going to get. And yeah, it's a bit boring, but it gives you that bulk to build around and that you're after.
Yeah, no, I mean, Pokédex number 36 is, it's a bit of a nonce-mon. Let's not lie about it. I mean,
bit of a nonce-mon.
Challenge banned, so that's great. And you've instantly taken off one of the most noncy moves in the world, Swift. Have you seen the animation for Swift? It is a noncy animation. Yeah, I've just done a couple of little numbers for you just while we were talking there. And actually, it stacks up quite well against the meta. It stacks up, you're getting like 56 wins and 56% of wins against the meta in the one shields, 60% in the zeros, and 53% in the two shields. So it's actually quite stable and steady. Mon to have in your six. My concerns with it is there is going to be poisons in this because of the uniqueness of a lot of the picks within this. I think you talked about Among Us before, Among Us, and I mentioned Nidoqueen, but there are things like Ariados and stuff like that, and Ariados is a cracking mon. It's a really good mon. Don't tell Drew, but it's
the best spider-related Pokemon. Just so we're all aware of that.
Yeah, it's better than any electric ones anyway. So I think it's got a place, and I think it's quite decent. Clefable, but not for me. I think there'll be too many poisons around, and that'll cause it quite damage. And the last thing you want to do is get stuck in a battle versus. I suppose that's why you're running Psychic, though, isn't it? So if you do get stuck versus that poison, that you might be able to not shit the bed.
Yeah, and it's like ultimately, if you get stuck versus a poison, you're struggling anyway, and you don't. It's just kind of so. Here's my thinking, right? Low kicks is very good. I think low kicks Nidoqueen in particular as a poison. I don't think Nidoqueen's great here, but I think as a low kicks partner, it's really good. And I just wouldn't want to be in a position where low kicks is used to draw out my fairy, so Nidoqueen can farm it down and then just hit everything with Earth powers without being able to hit Nidoqueen back. And so yeah, I just think it's worth running Psychic or Meteor Mash to get that big hit back. I'm a Florges fan. I looked at Florges. I thought, maybe you could even run.
That's Florette. It's not Florges, Cal.
No, it's for little baby Flabebe, but I was like,
it's Flabebe. Oh yeah, it is. I need lessons, then evidently.
Yeah, I thought maybe Vine with Draining Kiss would help against Marowak. And you could run Psychic on that as well. But it just doesn't Clefable is the best all round fairy.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not restricted. Sometimes the obvious pick is the obvious pick, and yeah, it's boring. But have a bit of spice with your moveset, because there's plenty of reason to run Meteor Mash or Psychic instead of Swift, in my opinion.
Meteor Mash is just such a good move.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the last video. I know Swift has got this kind of like new body slam thing, but Meteor Mash is so good. It really is.
Yeah.
I just think it's an ace move.
Yeah. For sure.
Welsh Cal, what's your opinions?
I I was just checking my version of the rankings, and I don't have Clefable in it.
Oh yeah, I sent you the wrong version of the rankings.
So I was like, oh, I wonder how it stacks up. And I'm like, I haven't seen that be a problem for any of my team builds so far.
Yeah, no, because I deleted Charm off my when I did the ranking list, and
Yeah.
I forgot to send you the updated one. Sorry, mate.
I think
So
it's
I
number
was like-
5. I think it's number 5 of what I've seen. The rankings that I've done.
Okay, that changes things. Yeah, I think it's decent. I think most people will still run Swift just because of how quick and noncy it is. But I do think you're right. No Swift is probably the way to go here. I don't know about Psychic though. I think I'd probably just go Meteor Mash Moonblast.
Well, see, I initially was in that camp, but then I thought, is AWAC going to be a thing? Because if it is, Psychic gives you a neutral hit on AWAC. But yeah, that's just I think I agree overall. I think Meteor Mash is the way, but
There's so much ground around. Do you really and like dark moves? AWAC seems a bit crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, but it is a core breaker for low kicks and poison types, which there aren't many of those things around. Like, so there's certainly room to have AWAC in your team. Like, AWAC is the sort of thing where if you've got a really nice 5 and you don't know what you want your 6, I'll put AWAC in because it core breaks low kick poison. I think that's a good idea.
It's a premium pick though, and that's the problem with AWAC is like they put it in that premium pick thing, and most people when they team build, they think what's going to be their premium right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the wrong way to do this.
You're not.
You have
just
to go backwards.
Yeah.
You're not just going to slot it in there.
No. My first draft only had 1 premium in it.
I didn't like
it forward it until I realised there's a premium pick thing.
Hey, if I could run 6 of them, I'd probably build a team of 6 of them, and that would probably change things. But,
if you'd have signed an NDA, Cal, we'd have been able to send you all the proper information, but you just hadn't signed one, so.
Got the wrong Sims, the lot.
I've sent you the right ones now.
Maybe my pick's not as bad as I've realised it is after all.
No, it's pretty rubbish, mate. So we're in agreed. Clefable, non-smon, don't run it with Swift. If you run it with Psychic, you are less of a nonce. So you're more a Fred the Weatherman rather than a Jimmy Savile.
Oh my god, Dan.
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying.
I'm not telling my parents about this episode.
Carl, why don't you tell us about your alternative that I've built up so
right, moving on. Okay. I'm sorry to go on a tangent when this episode is already dragging on a bit and we're only on the second pick, but I seriously need to talk about this. So, this Pokemon, I'm not going to name it yet, came out in Generation 7. And ever since its release, I have checked on this website called Peakalytics, which tracks the usage of Pokemon within the competitive circuit for the main series game throughout time. And across every single format it's been legal, it has had a 0.0% usage rate. So across its entire competitive career in the main series games, it has had a 0.0% usage rate. And there is a fan-made server called Smogon, which runs the Pokemon Showdown website, which people I'm sure on this call will be familiar with. And this Pokemon features low usage in something called ZU, an unofficial tier below the official lowest tier PU. And it sees very little play there as well, and has done for the 2 generations it's been allowed. So I need to stress that this Pokemon was also bad in Pokemon Go PvP until very recently with the move update changes. This is the first time in Pokemon history that anyone has ever had to take this Pokemon seriously in a competitive setting. So today, I'm going to be talking about this absolute piece of shiitake mushroom, Shiinotic, Pokemon 756, the Illuminating Pokemon. And what makes this Pokemon so interesting in this format specifically is it has access to Astonish, now one of the best moves in the game, a Ghost-type fast move. It's only fast move, as a matter of fact, which allows it to hit a lot of the ghosts in this format for super effectively. Defensively, it's quite nice. It has a grass typing, so it will resist grass moves. It will, with the fairy typing, it will resist dark as well. It does unfortunately have a 2x weakness to poison, but you can play around that with your other 5 picks. A noteworthy thing about Shiinotic is that it has the exact same stats, near the exact same stats when translated to Pokemon Go as Charger Bug. You all know, just whilst Charger Bug isn't the premium bulk, that's a good Pokemon. I always talk about Charger Bug because it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. But you go on PvPoke and you check rank 1 Charger Bug and rank 1 Shiinotic. Each stat is within 1 point of each other. It is ridiculous how similar they are. So it's got Astonish, it's got Seed Bomb, a cheap, pretty decent grass move. Everyone wishes it was Frenzy Plant, but honestly, it's pretty good now for as charge moves go. And then it also has access to Sludge Bomb, so if you're that worried about the mirror, you can run that. I wouldn't run it though. I just run Moonblast because Moonblast is just one of the best moves in the game. We've seen bulky Pokemon like Clefable hit super hard with it. Every time you see a Pokemon with Dazzling Gleam, you can only think to yourself, wow, I really wish this thing had Moonblast, because it's just such a good damage per energy move. The attack debuff chance is nice. And I really think it's primed with the Pokemon it's surrounded by to be in a really good position this meta. And it's so fascinating that something so forgotten will finally be something you have to build around, consider, and potentially use. So I'm really excited about Shiinotic this month.
So,
No,
in a
I think
nutshell,
that's-
what you're saying is, in a Beedrill meta, we're a grass fairy.
You've got 5 other Pokemon to beat a Beedrill. Like, just get good.
You know, when you said though this has got a 0.0% usage and it's always been crap in every game and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Matt Brewer had one built.
So did I.
Before
So
this
did
meta
I.
started, he had one built. I'll be honest, I've only built one today. But no, not Matt Brewer. Matt Brewer had that shiitake mushroom pick already.
So did I. The
built.
first time.
Yeah, but you've just said it because you've got a weird kink with Charger Bug, and that was the reason.
I only found out it was the same stats as Charger Bug when researching it. I just like yesterday, I just looked at its stats and I went, "This is familiar," and I felt like I just
checks his Charger Bug stat tattoo. Ah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of those months where it's always been just one move update or one move away from being really useful.
Yes.
And I didn't expect that move to be Astonish, but here we are. And it kind of, like in the old days, in the old Sylph days, I seem to remember a lot of Wigglytuff versus Alola Marowak matchups where even though Alola Marowak resists everything that Wigglytuff can do to it, Wigglytuff would beat it still, but kind of close. Like, it's kind of that same principle here, because the Astonish is so good that once you chip away with it with a Moonblast, that I think, do you win the zeros? I think against AWAC, or it's a very tight loss or something like that. Like, it's for a grass type into a fire. Like, it's completely acceptable.
It's been so many months since I checked a sim. I'm just gonna be completely real with you.
Yeah, well, it's like I can see Dan doing it now. Like it's the zeros is really close. Zeros is really close.
Zeros is really strong for it purely because Moonblast is such a good move. Obviously, you wouldn't throw that in the Alola Marowak matchup. But...
Well, I think you would.
So in the 1 and 2 shields,
oh yeah, sorry,
Marowak wins with 21 HP.
Yeah, but in the zeros, it's pretty tight, right?
No, the zeros it's worse, mate.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Let me just double check. Yeah, it's much worse. Well, 30 HP.
Okay.
So
Well,
the 1s and 2s.
maybe it's this. Try making the AWAC shadow. Yeah. Maybe it's the shadow I was thinking of, where it's like the zeros is ridiculously close.
I was on shadow.
Oh, okay. Ah, right. Okay, maybe it's the other way around then.
So zeros end with 16 HP,
There you go. That's pretty good.
but the 1s is 37.
Okay.
The 2s is 15 HP.
Okay, so really fucking close.
Close enough that you can come in and just get a bit of farm on,
With anything.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
A Beedrill.
A Beedrill, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think this is excellent. And I think it's bulky. It's got that bulk that Dan desperately needs. And at the same time, it's in that place in this new meta where it's got a nice balance of fast move damage and charge move damage. Yeah, I think this is really good. I will be using it or Clefable for sure. Maybe even both. I think they're both really good picks. So.
It definitely has that surprise factor, I think, here. Because the first time it comes out against you, you're going to be like, oh, shit. What does this thing learn? I think that'll catch maybe a few people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really good. I'll be honest, I was looking at it. And I have done the Sims against the meta just to see what it's like and stuff like that. So I know it wins 68% in the one shield. Could you run it with Clefable? I think they do different things. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
do think they do different things. I think the way you would use this is very different. I think if I was going to have a fairy, this would be the fairy I would choose, though. Just, yeah, because
Yeah, being able to beat Marowak is really nice. Like having that ground resistance that Clefable doesn't is really nice. Yeah, but then it's where it falls. Well, it doesn't fall down, but like it's not that it doesn't have that dominant win into low kicks, right? You're not farming low kicks down with Astonish. But you're gonna have to throw charge moves, whereas something like Clefable can do that, take energy into the next match and then just like throw Moonblasts for days or Meteor Mashers or Psychics as discussed. Which makes it different. And if you can fit, whether you fit them both onto your 6 or whether you don't, yeah, I think two great mons.
Despite a decent variety of moves at its disposal, it is very inflexible, surely, mostly just because you only have Astonish. You pretty much only have Seed Bomb, Moonblast. You can run Sludge Bomb for the mirror, but I think it doesn't necessarily make much sense to, given how much worse it makes its other matchups.
do you
And you
need
say
the
it-
flexibility?
No, you don't.
No,
You say
and-
only, but like that's what makes it good. Astonish and the grass typing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
point-
Beatanacid can beat me with 3 mons, no matter how many
The
mons
point-
I can choose from.
The point was that it's one note, but the note is such a nice melody that why need a second one?
Like Beatanacid.
Yeah. Big Ryan fan here. I think we all are.
Absolutely. I don't quite know how we got there, but okay, fine.
I think this is that fruity path that Dan was mentioning earlier.
Look, right, I've got a fractured rib, mate. I'm in pain all the time, so I'm just going with it. Let's just rip with it.
I think, Dan, we said we were going to go to you next.
Yes, so I thought about being fruity, and I'm going to go for an Astonish user as well. I'm going to go for one that's from a later generation. So I'm picking Pokédex number 887, which is Dragapult, which I'm sure not a lot of you have got, but
Nope.
maybe you should go out and build one. Yes.
Don't even have a Treepy.
Really?
What a loser. Even I've got a
Absolute
3P.
loser.
I've got 2 3Ps, and I don't play the game, Cal.
Oh,
I've got 2.
yeah.
BJ Morton's even got one.
No, no,
Oh,
no, that can't be true. He
The
had.
2 biggest
Oh.
scrubs have outcaught you. That's
I need
4.
to retire. What am I still doing?
To be fair, he is the only one at uni, so does drink more alcohol than any of us. Saying that Welsh Cal sat there with a glass of gin and a bottle of whiskey next to him, but the reason why I was talking about bulk earlier is because if you've got low kick in your team and you've got Dragon Pult in your team and you've got, say, Ninjask in your team, you really, 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 really need some bulk around them. Dragon Pult is absolutely, I don't know if there's anything thinner than it, because it is really it's really paper thin.
Yeah.
I think it's like 97 on defense or something like that.
Oh.
It's in the 90s. It's
You
it's
don't like to hear a sub 100 number. Oh,
but it's fast as fuck.
yes.
It is fast as fuck. There's ain't many things that are going to beat you on CMP, and it's actually got some really bulky, nice charge moves. So there is some good move variance in there. So if you can use it well. Use it quick, get yourself in a good matchup. Don't put it into a lead scenario, maybe. Have it on the switch where you know where you can get in, not get, you know what type of damage you're going to be able to take and hit hard. That's the way I'd run it with it. In the numbers, 1 shield beats 60% of the meta, so nearly as much as Shinotic.
Yeah.
Saying that right, yeah? 0s and 2s, though, it's in the mid-40s percent against the meta. Really good numbers. If you want to get it up to 90% of the meta, you just need to do 3 astonishes, which is 3 astonishes that probably take about 10 minutes. Yeah, this is chatting shit. There's no point in us talking about stuff that, oh yeah, Sableye, really good pick and everything, and AWAC's really good.
Yeah.
We found ourselves in a position that we're not talking about low kicks because it's too good in this meta to talk about, really, and that's such an out there pick. However, I do worry that we're maybe focusing on it too much and with team building, and no one's actually going to use it. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of my team building was around what beats that freaking little bug, because when that bug hits you and gets you, you're fucked and you can't do much about it. Dragon Bolt does lose to it, but not by much. Takes it down nice and steady, so that's quite nice. But it's the other stuff you are beating. You are beating AWAC, Beedrill, Nidoqueen, Aridos, Frostlass, Sableye. You're saying Frostlass, no one's picking Frostlass. I do think Ice has a place here. When I played Matt yesterday, I was running double Ice because I think Ice will have a place here just because of its neutral damage against a lot of different things. So, yeah.
Frostlass is also just timeless, isn't it? And so many people are just comfortable with it. They know exactly what it's capable of. It's historically it's historically one of the best limited, maybe the best limited meta Pokemon of all time historically.
It's got to be there. Yeah.
I'm bringing it up though is this is a dragon that beats ice types. This beats Mamoswine, it beats Piloswine, it beats Frostlass, and it's a dragon. And it's not like what's the ice dragon thing? It's really good.
Excalibur and Arctibax.
Yeah. This isn't an ice dragon. This is just a dragon.
Ghost dragon. Yeah.
Ghost dragon.
Well, ghost dragon. You get my drift.
Yeah.
So, I really like it.
I've just been looking up on PvPo to look at what Dragon Pulse bulk is comparable to. You'll be pleased to know it sits just below Weavile and just above Excadrill in terms of bulk. So that's lower than things. That's lower than Genesect. That's lower than Magmortar. That's lower than Staraptor. That's lower than Houndoom. That's lower than Pinsir. That's lower than Deoxys Speed.
The thing is,
yeah,
it's the things like Genesect. Everyone knows it's frail, but it feels ever so slightly bulkier than it actually is. and I think Dragapult, maybe not necessarily in this meta in particular, but Ghost Dragon is not a bad defensive typing by any
It's
means.
great typing. Great
Yeah.
typing. Yeah. Yeah, but like you say, I think I agree, Cal. Here, it's probably not got the resistances you want, but at some point, I would agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be the way. I think.
You've got to build around it.
Oh, for sure. But I think what I like about it over something like Flygon is that the Astonish damage isn't going to be like with Flygon. You're using Dragon Tail, presumably, and you're going to be walled by your fairies. With Astonish, you're not. Like it's kind of it does the classic dragon thing, but in a way that it doesn't get walled like dragons classically do. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it.
What charge moves are we talking about here? I'm not that familiar with it.
Breaking Swipe and Shadow Ball.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could run. You could run
Insane moveset. Insane moveset.
Yeah, it gets Outrage and Dragon Tail as well. Like, imagine having Outrage and Dragon Tail and not even considering them. Like,
That's a nice moveset.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. It does beat some fairies. I was looking at it earlier. Where is it? Beats Sylvia. That really good fairy in this meta. Beats Comfy. Who got one of them?
You'll beat Rapidash, Flaring Rapidash.
I don't think it does. Yes, it does beat Galarian Rapidash, and it beats Floret. Not Florges. It's Floret. But then again, we're not running Charm, so of course it beats these things.
Yeah.
It nearly beats Snarl Gramble. Nearly.
You just get snarled down instead.
You just get snapped down instead.
That's pretty impressive, to be fair.
How bad is it into low kicks, Cacturn, all these other horrific sucker punch users that we're going to see?
It's not that bad, do you know? I was looking at
It'll force a shield.
So...
Yeah, that Breaking Swipe is going to do.
Oh, absolutely! It's
Exactly.
sorry, I do apologise. It's atrocious into low kicks. Absolutely.
How much does a Breaking Swipe do, though? I'm curious.
Do you make a breaking swipe? Is the question.
You do make a breaking swipe. You do.
With +3 astonishes.
So in the zeros, let's just take out it hitting you with any single. So the low kicks is not going to hit you with any charge moves at all.
A Breaking Swipe was 44% to low kicks.
That's good damage for a 35 energy move.
And you get there at the same time as they get to the X's. You win
And
the
you
CMP.
obviously win that, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not that obvious, but but then the X scissor then knocks you out as well. So you can't switch in on the low kicks and take the charge. Not that you'd ever switch Dragapult into low kicks, but if low kicks switches in on you, you can get a hit off on it first. Like it's not a complete disaster.
Yeah,
but you're pretty fucked.
Oh, no, because if they let the Breaking Swipe through, you've taken it down to 75%. If they shield the Breaking Swipe, you've got a shield off it, and then you're going to farm it down with your fairy. So it's not the end of the world. Actually, it's really not.
So, but yeah, and it's a new toy, and do you know what? I'm going to use it because I think it's fun, and I think you should all give it serious consideration.
I've been excited for it to be in the game for some time, so I'm hoping it is good.
You just need to get one, mate.
I've tried. It's been my daily spawn about 6 times. They're just all crap IVs.
You know Drew's got one, right?
Probably hasn't he?
Drew's got one for Ultra League.
But you don't need good IVs on mons like this. You only need good IVs on mons that have.
You do if you're a snot up when you build Pokemon. Don't build shit mons, mate.
That sounds like a you issue, Carl, not a me issue. That's.
Tell you what, I'll DM Aaron and tell him to send me what breaking points I need, and he'll send me some like 11, 5, 6 Dragapult Something that makes me want to vomit when I see it, but when I play it and I'm like, thank you, Aaron, this is absolutely fantastic.
It's like it's got no bulk anyway, so you've got no point in trying
exactly.
to get one with good bulk.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the point?
Might as well do 1 extra damage to Galarian Rapidash.
Yeah. But that's my... And yeah, you've got to build around it. And it's paper thin. And a lot of stuff, as I discussed earlier, is paper thin in this month.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a fantastic Magmar and Magmortar counter.
yeah,
Weird that, yeah. Weird that. Yeah.
it's
It's always
weird.
playing the game.
Hmm? Yeah.
No, Karate Chop got a boost. Magmar's where it's at, mate. Karate
Magmar
Chop.
is legit, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And here you
It's
could
not-
run Magmar with Emma.
It's not being boosted to the point where it beats Dragon Ball.
I will say Scorching Sands on Magmar was a really nice addition a couple seasons back, and I'm really glad they did that.
Yeah. I've used
but-
it in a draft. It was awesome. Yeah. Anyway, Welsh Cow, go on. You've got a pick and you're convinced it's shit?
Yep, I am now convinced it's shit. It's one of my favourite Pokemon, but I just picked it before I looked at the Sims, which doesn't matter because my Sims are all gone to shit anyway. So my pick is Pokedex number 416. It's the Queen Pokemon, Vespiquen. So when I first briefly glanced at this meta, I've looked at low kicks, pack turn, all of the ground types, and I thought Vespiquen was a nice little niche for breaking that lot up. And then I looked a little bit more into the meta and I realised it's shit.
And this is chatting shit, so
So let's disregard the Sims. Why did you think it was good? Tell us what you thought it was good.
I thought from looking at it, like, seeing it's heavy ground usage in the beginning, so you're resisting all the ground. You just beat them with X's anyway. You've got low kicks you can handle anyway because you've got poison. You've got the power gem coverage now, which is really really nice and quite quick now with poison sting. You've got all of your grassy stuff you can handle, no drama. You beat pretty much all of the other bugs out there, so that's where I felt it fit in a little niche. But I'm not sure in reality it's going to work out like that.
Well, the problem is a lot of the grounds have rock coverage, right? And
Yeah, you still beat Marowak in the ones. Straight
Sorry.
X's, so that's no drama that one. I'm not worried about Marowak.
Is
I love
that with
Marowak. I'm a
Poison
bit more worried
Sting?
about
Eureka.
Poison Sting. I actually think
Oh.
there might be better play for Furica here, actually.
Yeah.
see, I was thinking Air Slash.
Air Slash.
Yeah, I
Madman.
mean, no,
No, you-
I kind of see it.
I imagine you drop way more with Air Slash than you would gain from it.
Yeah, but then it'd probably be one of those situations where what you pick up is actually really good, and you can probably farm down a low kicks and then throw 3 X's as the next thing, or an X scissor and a.
Vespiquen's probably a Gym Breakers mon. One of the.
Oh yeah,
rules
it's
we-
100% a Gym Breakers, man.
Yeah.
It's got such a quality moveset.
It does, I suppose.
You don't actually lose that much.
It beats the stuff you need it to beat, but then it's just fucked against everything else.
Well, that's fine.
That's basically where it's at.
That's like most Pokemon.
Yeah,
That's why they have
yeah, that's
typing.
fine. Yeah, that's literally the point.
Can I introduce you to a Pokemon called Bastiodon, maybe?
That's something Vespiquen definitely doesn't want to see.
62% wins in the one shield, Cal. That's
62. It's better than what percentage I got off my Sims. It was like 50 something.
Yeah, you're wrong, Sims.
yeah, but half the mobs were missing from yours.
I'm looking at it now, like it's like 50, mine's like exactly 50% in the ones.
I suspect though, Cal, because you probably didn't have a bunch of fairy types that have been booted off the rest of the charm, and you've got poison sting into fairy types. So that'll probably be why. But that is kind of nice that as a fairy answer that isn't going to be weak to ground like all the poisons are or the fires are. That's kind of a nice niche, really.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even with Air Slash, it was 57% in the one shields, which I was like, actually, that's really that's pretty decent to be honest, mate. It's in that weird place though. It's a premium pick, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was. Is it a premium?
The best premium pick.
I think we've already discussed that.
You start with Vespertine and then you just pick 5 others.
You pick Vespiquen, 4 others, and then Lapras because you want more bulk. That's something like
You
that.
need the bulk, yeah.
That's so true.
Swear, what if
Lapras
Lapras was just to absolutely fuck the Vespiquens? They, just got to dodge them power gems.
Vespiquen itself's pretty bulky, right? Isn't it? Like it's over 2,000 stat points. I want to say it's kind of like Wishcast territory.
Vespiquen's eligible in Tundra for Gym Breakers currently, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, super good in
Yeah.
Tundra.
It's a menace.
I looked at my Vespiquen before; it's still called Catacomb. That's probably the last time. That's probably the last time I used it.
It was really fucking good in Catacomb.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Was Catacomb the one? Was that the Beedrill mare? I'm sure that's why it was good.
Oh, because that narrows down.
No. Catacomb
was that Forest, maybe?
That's the A-Grav.
Was what's that stupid Barbaracle, wasn't it? Barbaracle was sick and Sudowoodo was good.
Yeah, Sudowoodo was good. Lapras was good. Venusaur was good. Umbreon and Sableye.
Let's not talk about Rhyperior as well, because
Rhyperior was awesome.
I know, Matt. It still burns. It
And
still
then they
fucking burns.
And then they redid it for factions, and it was shit.
To be fair, we all thought it was shit at the time when we were playing it. To be honest, we all thought it was one of the shittest metas there was. But
I'm sure I ran a Gloom in Catacomb as well.
You did, Cal, because
you cost me my first ever sweep in Flincher.
Yeah,
in that final.
You tried it.
With your fucking area.
Yeah, you tried ABB. You tried ABB and me with double Razor Leaf. It's like you wanted to lose.
No, I didn't want to lose. I wanted to win like a wanker. That's the difference.
Oh, my ribs!
Oh dear.
Yeah. No, I remember that. The Rhyperior was good.
So Vespiquen. I actually think, Cal, you're wrong. I think it is really good here. I think there will be play for it. I think again, it's something you've got to decide what you want and build around it. It's
unique. There's nothing else here that does what Vespiquen does.
No, I mean I was talking about Ninjask earlier because I like Ninjask and I think it's really fast. And I think, if we're going to be playing around with shorter switch timers and stuff like that, I enjoy that sort of play. But I think Vespiquen, it does stand quite high above it, to be honest, mate.
The power gem buff.
Yeah, the power gem buff is huge for Vespiquen.
Yes.
Yeah. And the power gem buff made me think about Shadow Sableye as well. And actually, the Shadow Sableye might be pushing regular Sableye more often as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something caught in your throat, Dan.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean Shadow Sableye is really cool. It's really cool. But I think it's less cool now than it used to be. It used to be really cool, and now it's kind of like,
it's too good to be cool now.
Too many people ran it in Play Pokemon.
That's it. Yeah, too mainstream.
And then they were like, "Oh wow, Power Gem is quite bad. Let's give it a little boost." And now,
and that brings all the Wigglytuff wankers onto the Play Pokemon circuit.
Yes.
We don't want that anymore.
We don't want those. We don't want those guys.
Yeah. I will not tolerate Wigglytuff slander. That is easily the most interesting charmer, other than like bad charmers. But that's the most interesting good charmer. That's all I have to say.
You're on the
I-
wrong place, Sal. You're in the
Yeah,
wrong place.
I feel that's a video in itself for you to justify, and maybe there should be a court and a jury looking at you going, so,
Wrong.
Callum.
Sign an NDA. Sign an NDA. Don't talk to me.
it's just Dan in one of those fairly judge ways.
Nonce. You are Gary Glitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think
leave it.
summary, I'm looking forward to this meta. I actually think this is actually going to be a fun month. Hopefully Matt will actually play. You know,
We'll
that'd
see.
be nice.
He won't. There's a bottle left.
No, probably not. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
He's scared of getting fucked up by Drew.
Yeah, I quite enjoy not having those paralytic nightmares of shit. What if Drew beats me? What if Drew beats me? Yeah, that's why I stopped playing. Yeah.
It's the same for most of us. That's why we all slowed down.
So what we need to do is ban Drew. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but we can't ban Drew because we all enjoy just ripping him too much, and he takes it so well.
He's a good egg. He's a good egg. Yeah.
He's an ace egg.
Well, on that note, let's call it a day.
Yeah, we've
thank
got
you very much.
NDAs to sign.
Yeah, all busy people making sure we're not letting out any secrets. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys, and we'll speak again soon.
Cheers, Matt.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.